From Jazwares and their amazing Pokemon line, this is a Battle Figure Multi-Pack. It literally comes with a good little starter squadron of Pokemon to jumpstart a collection or just to add to what you already have. So as you can see, we have a Pikachu, a Mankey, a Bulbasaur, a Charmander, a Squirtle, a Litwick, an Applin, oh no, what's your name? Snubble, I forgot for a sec, Horsey, and Electivire. I'm not gonna lie, the big reason why I got this pack is because the Electivire, Electabuzz line are one of my favorite lines in Pokemon. Electabuzz specifically is one of my guys. Elekid's fine, Electivire I like the design, but Electabuzz, he is like one of my favorite Pokemon. So I did want to get the Electivire that they did, and this is currently the easiest way to get him. But alongside that, I'm going to get a lot of little Pokemon that I've not been able to get before. I think they look pretty solid, and I thought this would be a decent review. So why don't we check out this box set that give you 10 unique figures and see if it's worth the money. The first thing I will say is that this is a bit of a weird pack when it comes to just variety, right? Variety, never a bad thing. But when you look at this 10 pack and realize that 6 Pokemon are from Gen 1, and then we have 1 Gen 2 Pokemon, which is Snubble, 1 Gen 4 Pokemon, which is Electivire, 1 Gen 5 Pokemon, Litwick, and then 1 Gen 8. Gen 8 was Applin. So, we're kind of all over the board here, but even still, you're getting a lot of Pokemon that haven't shown up in the 2 packs or 3 packs for a very long time. So, for instance, I have a lot of these guys, but I don't have that Bulbasaur, don't have that Litwick, don't have that Mankey. Electivire's new for me, Horsey's new for me. So, this is a good little catch-up wave to get you some of the more popular Pokemon and some odds and ends Pokemon that you might be looking for but haven't been able to find yet. So, in that way, I think that this is a great idea for a box set, just putting some of these oddballs in together, and because Pokemon always just kind of look like Pokemon, it's not like you're looking at completely different design aesthetics that just don't mesh at all. These are all meshing with each other, you know what I mean? The odd one out really is Electivire, and that's more just because, one, Sinnoh got a little bit more detailed when it came to the full adult evolutions, and also, he's bigger than the rest. But now, we're going to go through all the little guys first, we'll end on Electivire, and then we'll talk about the box set as a whole again in just a sec. Pikachu seems like a pretty obvious Pokemon to start with. Here's the thing, right? If you collect the Jazwares lines, you've had many chances to get a Pikachu. This one's unique. He's on all fours, he's smiling. I don't have a Pikachu like this in my collection. The only time I've ever seen this Pikachu is in a big multi-Pikachu gift set that comes with like only Pikachu. There's like 8 of them in that box. So this is a pretty interesting way to get a more unique Pikachu, because most of them, of course, are standing on their back 2 legs. Getting one on all 4, kind of unique. So there is that. We'll stick with Gen 1 stars to talk about Squirtle. Really love how this Squirtle turned out. I love how he looks a little bit agitated. The paint on mine looks really solid. Squirtle's always going to be my guy, so I really love how this one in particular turned out. A very unique little Squirtle to add to the collection. Charmander is a lot more rough. The paint on his tummy is kind of crumpled up. He generally doesn't have a great time standing up just because his tail's a little bit bulky, and there's weird paint blemishes all over his body, like there's a black spot there, black spot under his armpit. I'm not too sure what went wrong here, but I think this is the single Pokemon in this entire pack that had the most little paint issues. We'll round out our starters with Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur looks so good. I love his little smile, I love that he's doing Vine Whip. I think that this is one of the best Pokemon in the entire pack. It just looks so good. I'll be honest, there was a big part of me that was convinced Mankey would not be able to stand up, but their feet are actually good enough. He balances very well. It's a great little pose for Mankey, a good little Gen 1 Pokemon that does not get enough love. I think that this is a very solid representation, and honestly one of the only figurines I can think of them ever doing for Mankey, and once you get past like that original run of figures Tommy did. So, hey, there is that. Our final Gen 1 Pokemon is Horsey. Horsey looks incredible. Now, they do come with this little acrylic stand that helps them stand up. If you take it off though, yeah, they're not standing, so why don't we keep it on? Alongside that, there is a little bit of paint blemish here around the gut for me, but Horsey is one of my low-key favorites from Gen 1. I really enjoy this one. I think it is very cute, it looks perfect, and I'm happy to finally have a Horsey on the shelf. There's Snubble. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too big on Snubbull, but I do think that this Pokemon came out looking really nice, the figure did. It's a great capture in the design. I love the kind of frilliness of the dress, how well they captured the face. So, not a Pokemon I like, but I can appreciate just how well this figure came out. Litwick, meanwhile, is incredible. I love the entire Chandelure line. I would love for Jazwares to get to all of them before too much longer. But Litwick, I love the expression. I love how they got the eye. The flame looks great. This is just a very, very, very well done little figurine. Now, Applin is a figure that I have a few times over now, but it's always nice to see them. This is honestly one of the best figurines that Jazwares has done, I think. It just... oh... It just looks really good. The paint is solid, the sculpting's good. It's a cute little guy, and he doesn't take up too much room, so it makes it really easy to incorporate him into a display. So, for all those reasons, Applin's one of my faves. And that just leaves the reason I bought the pack, that being Electivire. Electivire looks alright. He's a good, big, bulky Pokemon. You do have some articulation here in the hips, as well as here on the arm. We have a gimmick, so there's a plunger here on the back. You punch it, and boom, he can do Electro Punch. That's something. Also, these little cords move kind of, but not really. There's nothing in the head. I'll be honest, right? There was a big, like, 8-inch Electivire that came out when I was a kid, and that Electivire is amazing. That's the one I really want again. This Electivire is fine. Again, I got it literally just because I like Electabuzz. I hope that maybe they can do Electabuzz or Electivire in that trainer team series that they do at Target, where it's like the 6-inch articulated Pokemon. But to be honest, they're so B-list, I don't really see it happening. Even still, this is a decent enough guy, and he's going to look great on the shelf, just kind of looming over a lot of the smaller Pokemon. Overall, I do really enjoy this pack. I think you get a great collection of really solid figurines that incorporate a lot of the more popular Pokemon, as well as some more B-lister fan favorites, and also Mankey. But with all that said, I think that this came out really, really well. If you can get this 10-pack for retail price, which seems how they're kind of shelf warming right now, you probably can. I do think they're worth the money. If you get it on sale, even better, because you're getting a lot of really nice little guys here. But with all that said, it's another example of why I love this Jazwares Pokemon line. It's just the fact that they can take simple figures, make them nice and cheap, easy to afford, and yet they still feel kind of special when you mess with them. Electivire might have been a little bit of a letdown, but I still think that he looks really nice with all these other little guys, so overall, a good pack.